In this video, we are going to paint a simple landscape inside a heart for a birthday card. This is the 7th painting in Watercolor birthday card series. First, draw a heart on a 100% cotton paper which is of 300 GSM cold pressed. Divide the heart into two parts and then wet the upper half of the heart. I'm using cobalt blue to paint the sky using wet on wet technique. Rotate the board in all directions and allow the pigment to move so that it makes its own effect. The pigment didn't move to the edges of the heart as I haven't wet the edges properly, so I'm defining the edges with a brush. The pigment has moved to all the areas in the heart, and now I tilt the board and collect the excess pigment near the edges of the heart, and using a damp brush I suck all those excess pigment. Next, we are going to paint the bottom part of the heart when the top portion is still wet and going over the bottom part without touching the top part. That is, I'm leaving some white space between the top part and bottom part of the heart. Using light value of cobalt blue, I paint the bottom part of the heart. To get the light value of cobalt blue, mix more water to the pigment. After painting the bottom part of the heart, allow the paper to dry completely. Next, I mixed gamboge yellow with Verdian hue and a little amount of violet to get this green. I'm using wet on dry technique to paint this green pasture. To define the height of the grassland, I'm using deep green for the edges of this grassland. For that, I'm using more violet to the mix of gamboge and Verdian green. When the paper is still wet, using a damp brush, make some marks on the lower bottom of the heart. When the brush touches the pigment moves out of its place and makes some white spaces. On those white spaces, we are going to make some flowers. I'm using opera rose to paint the flowers. I directly pick the pigment from the tube and apply it on the white areas of the paper. Using the green, which is a mix of Gambogello Verdian with violet, I paint the stems of the flowers. We have reached the end of the video. Hope this video is useful. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. See you in another watercolor painting video. Until then, take care. Bye bye from Prema.